Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal. How you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. Now, look, you know what? It's been a hell of a toxic day. It really has. I mean, just scrolling through my social media pages, we got part-time managers from all around the world thinking they know everything about tactics and the reason why Ruben Amorim is not succeeding at Manchester United, etc., etc. They know everything. They know everything. Some of them didn't even know football existed a few years ago. Absolutely, not least talking about what's good for Manchester United. You know, so what my feelings are this evening, guys, is that I'm looking at some of the opinions, and I've seen a lot of things about the tactics. The tactics don't work. The tactics don't work. This is an absolute myth. It's nothing to do with tactics. Yesterday was nothing to do with tactics. We could have played any formation against Grimsby. We should have beaten Grimsby, no matter what the formation was. There's a severe lack of dedication at Manchester United. Standards have dropped at Manchester United, and again, we have not got the rebuild that we so dearly craved. And as we've been talking about for the last few months, we needed a rebuild. Ruben Amorim needed the players in so he can have the best opportunity as possible to succeed at this football club. Unfortunately, we don't have that. 50% of the work, 60% of the work has not been done. Yes, granted, we got 3 players in, very good players in Bruno, Cunha and Sesko, first team players. Leon is not a first team player, and he came obviously a few months ago. So what I would say is this, right? I believe in Ruben Amorim, and I believe we should give Ruben Amorim time. But will Ruben Amorim walk? Having listened to that interview yesterday after the match, it does look a little bit like he's had enough. He's had enough. And, it's not cracking under the pressure, but I always wanted him to walk anyway if he didn't get backed. I said it before the season started. If Ruben Amorim doesn't get backed, what he should do, he should just pack his bags and walk, because at the end of the day, he's on the road to nowhere. He's not going to succeed at this football club. This football club has destroyed numerous amounts of players, talents, managers over the years. And no matter what manager we bring into this football club, it just doesn't seem to be clicking. And every time we bring a new manager into the football club, whether it's the fans, whether it's the environment, the toxicity, whether it's the ownership, we just can't make it work. Ruben Amorim is an obviously talented manager. He's not an idiot. He knows what formation to play. He's played it his whole life, being extremely successful with this formation in Europe as well, not just in the Portuguese league, but in Europe as well. But we have players, when it feels right to down tool, when they feel it's okay, to throw in the towel, they'll do it. And this doesn't matter what players you bring in. It's not about what players you bring in, because this is a culture at the football club, and asbestos, what I said yesterday, like a disease that gets infects other players that come into the football club, other managers that come into the football club. It's an infection, right? The infection that has affected the likes of Luke Shaw, the likes of Mason Mount, the likes of Phil Jones, where, it's okay to sit on your backside for years and years and years and not do anything. It's that kind of thing, We've completely lost our way in regards to having a winning mentality at this football club. The winning mentality is not there. And I hope that Ruben Amorim can be that guy to bring it back, because I firmly believe he's that guy. I believe it. I'm not saying it because, I don't want another manager sacked, and I've always believed this manager. No, because at the end of the day, look, we've done the same thing over and over again and expected different results over and over again, haven't we? And, it's a complete insanity, to be honest with you, that we keep doing the same thing and we keep sacking the managers. No matter what the formation, we all know what Erik ten Hag played. Erik ten Hag played a 4-3-3, didn't he? And it didn't work, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played a 4-3-3. And it didn't work, So it's nothing to do with the formation and tactics. And especially yesterday, Man United should have won that game regardless. Man United didn't need a manager yesterday to beat Grimsby Town. We could have got one of the caretaker bosses at the back and bloody gave him the opportunity to manage Man United for one game. It doesn't matter. We should have beaten Grimsby Town anyway, right? Look, I do believe that the Man United shirt is extremely heavy. But if you cannot handle the Man United shirt, you shouldn't be at Manchester United at the end of the day. If you're not up for a game against Grimsby in the cup, And you know what? All those fans that travelled around the country, if not the world, to see Man United yesterday, and you put in a performance like that, which some were saying was one of the worst performances they've ever seen. I've seen some bad performances at Man United. I've actually been to games, guys, where we've lost by 6 goals. You know, I've been to games like that, and it's not very nice. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you've got the fans and that gloating you and stuff like that. But the great thing about football, guys, the great thing about football is that football's the great equalizer. Excuse the pun. It is the great equalizer. You can fix it. You can fix it. And luckily enough, we are in early stages of the season. And if we go and beat Burnley and we pull off a great result against Man City, which is not impossible. We've done it last season, guys. We've done it last season. We pulled off the impossible. We beat Man City. We go and beat Chelsea. Then everything will look a little bit more, you know, more positive, wouldn't it? At the end of the day. So, look, anything can change. I don't think Ruben Amorim is going to be sat. I hope he doesn't walk. There was talk of Ruben Amorim walking during the international break, which I think will be wrong on his behalf. I think he should just wait it out. But the pressure is getting to him because obviously he's not been backed. And what do you want him to do? And I feel like I'm in the same place, guys. I feel like I'm in the same place where I was. How long was it now? Before Eric Ten Hag got sacked. I'm in the same place as I was back then. You know, when the players don't want to play for you, it doesn't matter what you do. You know, they just won't play for you, right? They won't play for you. You can't get them to play for you. And this is the thing. They can manipulate you on the pitch. They can pretend that they're going to play for you. They can perform blindly, absolutely fantastically in training. But when it gets to the game day, they won't play for you. And this is testament to the bad culture that has been infecting us for many, many years now. Player power. Players rich too soon. Players are spoiled. Players don't want to play. Players don't want to leave. Players want to sign for only one football club. The petulance is ridiculous at this right now. It's ridiculous. And I'm not going to turn against the manager. Absolutely not. And it'll take more than a defeat against Grimsby, which happens in football, by the way. Man United lost 3-0 to York City at Old Trafford, guys, right? We've lost to some crazy team. Derby County we lost to. We've lost. We drew to a non-league team. And they brought us to a replay. I think it was Woking or something like that. So I'm not going to turn just because we had one bad result. And you know what? Because I felt we played well against Arsenal. I felt we were okay against Fulham. Lots of improvement, but transfers need to come in. That in the midfield needs to be fixed. We need to fix that midfield. I mean, now, guys, in regards to that midfield, we've had talk, obviously, Ben Jacobs has been speaking about Man United's pursuit of Carlos Baleba. Man United apparently put in a bid which was worth around 100 million for Carlos Baleba. Now, that obviously was not accepted. It was, I think, 90 million, something around that much, plus incentives. And that bid was not accepted. Now, Man United are differing on whether to put in another bid, but are quite aware that if they do that, it might upset Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton and Hove Albion might not want the bid to come in, which will obviously damage relationships between the two clubs, which is pretty good. And Man United might want to go in for Carlos Baleba next season. Now, what I think they should do, they need to speak to Brighton and they need to clarify what's going on. If they're going to bid for Baleba, what's the amount of money that you would take for Carlos Baleba? How much would it take to persuade you to sell Carlos Baleba? And you know what? I think 100 million plus 10 million incentives will do it. And I think it's the sort of player we need. In regards to Seny Lammens, the plan for Seny Lammens, of course, is to get Seny Lammens done as soon as possible. Rumours circulating that this still could be done. Talks are still progressing very well. Obviously, there's always going to be the rumours about, you know what, another team wants him. Another team is interested. In this instance, it's Galatasaray interested in Seny Lammens and blah, blah, blah. But it's expected that Seny Lammens will sign for Manchester United. I know there's a lot of concern about Seny Lammens within the fan base, that Seny Lammens is not good enough. He's young. We're going to put pressure on him. Look, the thing about Seny Lammens, and having watched him for 1 year, the overriding feeling is that he's well above his years, the way he acts, the way he talks, his size, for example, well above his years. And he does remind me of when Petr Cech signed for Chelsea. And I think Man United missed the boat on Petr Cech before we ended up signing Van der Sar. Obviously, we went through a number of goalkeepers. And I think we cannot miss out on Seny Lammens. I think Seny Lammens is a player that we must fight tooth and nail to get. We must do, guys. We have to be honest with you. And what I would say is that if we can get him through the door, and if miraculously, guys, because it's looking that way right now, no news going around, sort out a midfielder, I think we'll be okay. But I think it's very important, as I've been speaking about in the last few months, guys. If Ruben Amorim doesn't get back, I don't want you to throw the towel on Ruben Amorim. I urge you not to do that because he has not been backed. Context is key here. Context is key. He has not been backed. 3 players is not backing a manager. It's absolutely not. When you look at what Liverpool are doing, you look at what Arsenal are doing. Arsenal are just signing defenders for the sake of signing defenders because they don't even need a defender, yet they're signing a defender. So what we got to do is we got to understand the context of what has been going on this summer. And we got to understand that Ruben Amorim has not been back. Yes, Ruben Amorim makes mistakes. He makes mistakes. Every manager does make mistakes. I mean, I urge you to tell me a manager who doesn't make mistakes. I'm hearing news about Glasner. And obviously, there's Glasner is a manager that plays the 3 at the back. So what we're going to do then? We just want a shiny new toy. At the end of the day, let's get Glasner in. It just beggars belief of this fan base is that they have these opinions, but they have no source to this opinion, no ground to their opinion and their recommendations and things like that, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. Really good to see you. Hope you're blessed, of course, guys. I hope everyone is good, of course. Ephraim, good afternoon, Sal. Why some of our fans do not see the bigger picture rather than saying sack the manager? Look, at the end of the day, I want to bring in this as well, guys. It's very important that we speak about this as well. Ruben Amorim is trying to fix a culture at this football club, okay? It's not just about what happens on the football pitch. There is a cultural problem at this football club. And contrary to other managers that have managed Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, etc., they have not fixed the culture at the football club. I'm not trying to fix the culture at the football club. Actually, it's been quite the opposite. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer groveled to Rashford, and apologized to Rashford. Erik ten Hag just kept things sweet and kept things on a neutral level, even gave Sancho 3 months off work. What Ruben Amorim is trying to do is he's trying to fix something, which is it's going to be a problem in the future. No matter what manager we have, if this problem is not fixed ASAP, we will have the same problems despite who the manager is. We will have the same player power. We have the same petulance, the same tweets that go out, the same likes of tweets, the same this. We're going to have that again and again and again if we do not fix this problem now. Because at the end of the day, it's all well and good. Let's sack another manager, get him out of my club. He's a fraud. Forget the 3-4-2-1. It's not working in the Premier League. All this malarkey. Bunch of sheep, cardboard cutouts. They should be in Madame Tussauds because that's what they are at the end of the day. Except for Madame Tussauds is resigned for people who are actually successful. So what I would say is, back this manager. He's trying to fix the culture at this football club. He's trying for now to fix it. He's doing a lot of things at once, trying to fix the culture at this football club. If he walks, I don't want him to walk. It would be disappointing, but it will be great. I think it will be monumental in Manchester United's history. I'll tell you why. It'd be monumental in Manchester United's history because he can then turn around. He won't need to sign any waivers and documentation to prevent him from talking about the Glazers and Ineos. He can leave this football club with his head held high and say, this is the reason I'm leaving, and this is why, and this is what the problem is. And I would love a manager. There will be a statue built for this manager if the manager decided to do something like that. It's sad in a way. It's annoying because we as Man United fans, I want nothing but the best. I want nothing but the best. I want us to be successful. I think we deserve it. I think the fans have been great. The fans have been very loyal, especially us on this community. We've been very loyal. We support the football team. We don't go over the top. We don't swear. We don't call people names, etc., etc. We back the manager to the hill and back. And we did it with Erik ten Hag. And we've been proven right about Erik ten Hag, by the way. We have been proven right. Because at the end of the day, we were told, before Erik ten Hag got sacked, we were told that any manager will come to this football club and get a tune out of these players. Here we are, guys. Here we are. One of the most promising up-and-coming managers in the world is Ruben Amorim, and here we are, talking about sacking him to 8 months down the line, not even a year, 8 months down the line, guys. Absolutely madness. Like, guys, come on, guys. We got to be smarter than that. We got to be more savvy with our thinking than that. And I'm seeing so many people online. Destruction it is. I call it destruction. They're destruction. They're slandering the manager, the football club and stuff. And the reason we're not going to be successful, they are a huge part to play in this. They're a huge part. They have a huge part to play in the reason why we're not successful. Because we have a lot of fans who are just here for vibes. They don't know nothing about Manchester United, our heritage, our history, where we came from. Sir Alex Ferguson, They do not know anything about what happened to Sir Alex Ferguson when Sir Alex Ferguson first walked into this football club. What happened to Sir Alex Ferguson? 5 years we did not win anything, guys. 5 years. We were famously a game away against Nottingham Forest, Mark Robbins, from him getting the sacked, apparently. I was there when I saw 4 banners of get him out of my club. I was there. Imagine we did that. I'm a most successful manager of all time. We wouldn't have seen it. Who knows where we would have been? We wouldn't even have one Premier League title, guys. So sometimes you got to act a little bit more patient. No, we're not like Tottenham. We're not like these teams. We're not Thomas Frank and all this. And I know people bring up the same predictable comparisons to our situation. They are not in our situation. They do not have the Glazers in charge. They do not have Ineos. They do not have toxicity within the football club that is absolute a poison within the football club, which we have right now. You know, our fan base, the divisions in our fan base, the cult mentality within our fan base is ridiculous. When you see some of the cult mentality within our fan base, the arguments between each other, the petty arguments between each other, falling out with each other because of petty disagreements about silly little things that are all hypothetical in hindsight. You know? Sal, do you see Amorim walk? I hope not, mate. I hope not. Irfan, Slow FC in the transfer going sick, and the Soho FC convert to a Real Madrid fan. Irfan, go and support Real Madrid, mate. Because at the end of the day, you're not a true Man United fan. And I don't want you as a Man United fan, Irfan. I supported this club 40 years. You know how long that is in my life? It's like 90% of my life, mate. 95% of my life, I support this football club. This football club comes from the Busby Babes. This football club comes from 1968, 1964, 74 relegation. This football club comes from far more greater things than you do, mate. I don't know where you're from, Irfan, but your country probably invented football about 20 years ago. So you don't really understand what football is in general, do you? You know, you don't understand the heritage of Manchester United. You want to go and pretend to be a Real Madrid fan. They don't want you, by the way. Go and support Real Madrid, my guy. Go and support Real Madrid because you're not wanted within the football club. I don't care. I don't care what you think. Go and do that. Go and support Real Madrid, mate. You're a glory hunter. People like you make me sick. I'll be honest with you. People like you make me sick. You have no patience. You have no, how do you say it? Loyalty? Nothing. You know? That's why you probably get an arranged marriage. Daryl, afternoon, brother. Got to back him until the end of the so-called fans and ex-players. He needs the backing. Agree with that, Daryl. Big up, Daryl. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Dembo, it's about time the players took the blame. Absolutely. He didn't set the team up last night to concede 2 easy goals again or to be so lightweight and slow on the ball. Exactly, Dembo. And did Ruben Amorim set up a team like Anana to fumble the ball in the box and be beaten at his near post? You know? It's ridiculous. Did Ruben Amorim set his team out for the team not to cross the ball on the wings? Did he set the team out for that? He didn't, did he, at the end of the day? You know? After an EC, how you doing, my friend? Ruben is going to walk away. The players have buried him. Don't be surprised if he does. Daryl, I hope he don't walk, even though he has the right to do with the players down tools. It will too lightly against the Grimsby. Daryl, if he does walk, my friend, if he ends up walking from this football club, he will be down as a legend of this football club because no other manager would do that. If he walks, he will be throwing away millions and millions and millions for himself. You know, he would doing that because when you walk, it's your own. You lose money. You know, and if he did that, sacrifice his own wealth to do that, I'm sorry, guys, but he's a legend in my eyes. He's a legend. He's the best manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. If he did that, because at the end of the day, there's so many managers that come to this football club, and wait until they get sacked to get that bag. You know, and that's what they do. And yeah, look, if he does that, I will be applauding him, but I'll be extremely sad at the same time, you know. And part of me will be like, well, you know what? I'll be backing the new manager who comes in. Of course I will. But I wouldn't be surprised if we'll hear in a year's time saying that, oh, he's the wrong manager. We should have given Ruben Amorim more time, blah, 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 you know. EC, I hope he doesn't walk, but the board have to come out and sit them all down and tell them that Ruben is going nowhere. And either you perform or you misplay. Yeah. Absolutely. But what the board also need to do, they can't be telling anyone to back Ruben Amorim. They can't be telling players of Manchester United to back Ruben Amorim and play for Ruben Amorim if them themselves are not backing Ruben Amorim. If they're not backing Ruben Amorim, how can they turn around and say back Ruben Amorim? Because they haven't backed Ruben Amorim. 3 players is not backing Ruben Amorim. We still got players there from Louis van Gaal days, guys. That was 11 years ago. Still playing for this football club. You know? Absolutely. A big up EC, by the way. Hope you're well. Has anyone seen what Sky Sports have done? They've recorded fans who were criticising the manager and chose them clips as a narrative for the fans wanting him out. They stabbed Ruben in the back. They didn't even stab him in the back because they've done it loads of times. And this is what I'm talking about, EC. And my biggest question, my biggest argument would be to every single, my message, should I say, my message to every single Manchester United fan is remember this, guys. I want you to remember this. I've been around quite a while in regards to football terms, okay? I want you to remember this, right? These media outlets do not care about Manchester United fans. All they care about is the division in the Man United fans because it creates clicks, it creates popularity to their channel and movement on their channel, social media, clicks, views, whatever you want to say. That's why they do it, right? They want to create this narrative, this anti-United narrative. That's what they want. Little do they know that a thriving Manchester United is best for them. Because without Manchester United, there would be no bloody Premier League the way it is today, thriving financially like it is today, right? So they need to come out and show a little bit of respect to Man United. They do it all the time, my friend. When have they ever been positive about a manager at Man United? As soon as Ruben Amorim walked through the door at Old Trafford, they got the knives out. Already, straight away, they've got the knives out. Not even waiting until one game, pre-season, whatever. Oh, did you know this? Did you know this? Oh, it's only the Portuguese league. It's only... And they start bringing up stats. One of the stats they bring up, and they do it all the time, they're so predictable because they're not talented. Guys, let me tell you a little story about Sky. I've had Sky News reporters DM me, okay, listen to this, and I can prove it, DM me to find out about transfer news. Sky Sports reporters, transfer correspondents, DMing me to find out about transfer news. So why don't I get that DM on Twitter and I show the world? This is how connected Sky Sports are with all their millions. They're DMing me, old Sal from Leytonstone, what's going on in the transfer market. When the Bruno Fernandes transfer was happening way back in 2017, they were messaging me, they were DMing me, what's going on with Bruno? I know you know his brother. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Please tell me. You know? And that's what they're doing. So whatever Sky do, pinch of salt, don't worry about what they're saying, you know, at the end of the day, because you know what? They're actually just corporate. They're like a glorified corporate channel that pretends they like football. And that's it. And they got the connect, so they get a bunch of footballers, ex-footballers, to get on the channel and talk their rubbish. Big up Daryl, big up EC, of course. All of the interviews he did for them, and that's how they repay. That's why I said EC, right? Ruben Amorim should have done the minimal. With the interviews and things like that, Ruben, leave them alone. Don't talk to them. Do your press conference, which you're contractually obliged to do. Do that, and then don't do anything else. No more favors, Ruben. If you want to do a favor, Stretford Post. Come on Stretford Post, and we have a proper discussion about football. Do you know what I mean? Not about trying to twist you and manipulate you into things. Because at the end of the day, what people don't understand as well, guys, he's standing there speaking English, which is not his first language. Again, we're in this situation. It's not his first language. Portuguese is his first language. And then they find every little bit that he says and they twist it into something sinister. Big up the legend, Grayer. How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I've never been so sad, so disillusioned, so angry that I felt right now watching this dreadful situation that we're in. We are a laughing stock. The UK media are having a field day. They are, Grayer. But what I would say, Grayo, and you know what, Grayo, we are all Man United fans, brother, and we are all on the same boat, mate. And, you know, what I would say is that we need to stick together as a fan base. Because if we don't stick together, nobody else is going to help us. We need to stick together as a fan base. Yes, we're divisive in our opinions. We all have different opinions about the football club. But ultimately, what we got to do is we got to look at the facts, what's going on here, and what's going on behind the scenes with the football club, and what has been happening for the last few years. I remember Man United losing these League Cup games and things like that. I remember us losing 3-0 to York City, who at the time were a third division club. I remember us drawing to non-league clubs in the FA Cup, you know? This can happen in football. I feel down. I feel disillusioned, like you said there, Grayo. I feel fed up, you know? And we know each other, and we know how much we love this football club, and we hope that it gets better. I like to think it will. And I like to think that Ruben Amorim will show all the haters are up, and they're going to have to eat some humble pie. That's what I want at the end of the day. These people, they have no empathy. These media outlets in the UK, they have no empathy. I've been in the Sun newspaper. I've had interviews in front of the Sun newspaper, right? And they've manipulated it in the past, right? And I know what they're about. And I know that they're just there to dig the knife in, right? They're just there to dig the knife in. They're not there to contribute anything constructive in regards to Manchester United's future. This is what they do. Big up, Grayo, my friend. Big up. Great. If the players won't listen to Amran, then what do we do? Where do we go? Ineos need to wake their up and sort this shit out. I saw this in 1974, and already this season it's heading that way. This happened. This happened under Eric Ten Hag, Grayo. The same thing. This happened under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let me give you an example. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went on a record run of unbeaten matches away from home. And I think he just went on this. I know it's the COVID season, but he went on this record run, Grayo. As soon as he put pen to paper on that contract, the players lost 4-1 to Everton. They started going on a losing streak. They threw the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United legend, by the way, under the bus. So this is a cultural thing that has been going on in recent years, as well as 1974. This is a cultural thing that has been going on for years. You know, and it's happening again. Why is it happening? Why does it keep happening? Why do we keep getting into this situation where we have to sack the manager and let those players off the hook again? And let me rest assured, guys, bet your bottom dollar. I bet you see this, guys. You're going to see Marcus Rashford come back. Jadon Sancho come back. Maybe Anthony, if he doesn't sign, come back. You're going to see it. Bear me a second, guys. Oh, my goodness me. 1 second. You're going to see it, guys. The Jadon Sanchos, the Rashfords, the Anthonys. You're going to see it, mate. All coming back. Everything's all good. New clean slate going on. Great. Players have been let off again. Another manager gets sacked. How many managers has Luke Shaw been through? How many managers has he been through? You know? How many has Rashford been through? Sancho now? Bruno? How many they gone through now? There's quite a lot now, isn't it? A lot of these players. Jacob, you serves you right, and United lost to Grimsby. That's what the game, I'm afraid, my friend. You're not my friend, Jacob. You're an absolute prat, mate. You're a prat, mate. You're not my friend. You're dumb, mate. You're a very low life, right? Who wanted Man United to lose, right, at the beginning, and you were saying 4-0, right? You're an absolute prat, mate. You're going to be blocked now, Jacob. You're not coming back to this stream, all right? You're going to be blocked because serves you right, trying to antagonize my community and things like that. You're a bit of a prat, mate. You're a bit of a prat. Absolute prat, you know. Absolute bellend, Grayo. Thank you so much, Grayo. You're an absolute bellend, mate. You're an absolute bellend, mate. I can't say it any more than that, what Grayo said. You come on this channel, you know, why are you here, bruv? Why are you here? What is your problem? I know that you may be a bit not quite up there, upstairs, but why are you here, mate? And this channel's going to grow, Jacob. And you've missed a big opportunity here, mate. A massive opportunity. Let me tell you that right now. All right? You've missed a massive opportunity, mate. When I get the likes of Fabrizio on this channel and people like that, and you're going to be like sitting in the background, oh, I wish I didn't say that. You know, at the end of the day, we're Man United fans on this channel. You can have your constructive opinion about what goes on at Man United and what we did wrong, and that's fine. But serves you right Mate, unbelievable. Have you blocked him, Grayo? Yeah, block him, please, brother. F him. But he's made no improvement. Andrew, there won't be improvement whilst we got the same cultural problems, Andrew, at the football club. The same cultural problems are still there, mate. The same problems that have been there for many, many years. It's the same problems that are there that are not been fixed. We still got the Glazers at the football club. What this football club needed, and despite who the manager's going to be, Andrew, we're going to have the same problem in 1 year, because if we don't fix the foundation of this football club, like I said yesterday and the day before, the derelict building, the asbestos that is in this football club, if we do not fix that, and it takes more than a bloody training facility that was already organized during the takeover process to fix it. It's a character problem at this football club that gets passed down like asbestos, infectious. That's what it is. And this is no coincidence, Andrew, because we've been here before, mate. We've been here before. I was saying exactly the same thing about Erik ten Hag. Exactly the same thing. And here we are, guys. Andrew, I want nothing more than to know about what the actual problem is right now. Right? I want nothing more. We're going into divine inspiration now. We're talking about curses and we're talking about things like that. We're talking about, things like that, and I want nothing more than us to know. And I want nothing more than a successful football club. But I know, guys, and you can clip me on this, Andrew. You can do what you like, brother. You can clip me on this. I know we will get another manager in. Whoever the manager is, you can get anyone out there. In 1 year's time, we will be sitting in this spot right now and be saying, maybe we should have given Ruben Amorim more time. Ruben Amorim's been there 8 months, right? Ruben Amorim has been at Manchester United since January. Ruben Amorim did not want to come to Manchester United in January, all right? He made it pretty clear, but they gave him an ultimatum that he had to come now, otherwise they're not going to get him the opportunity to be Man United manager, and he wanted to be Man United manager. He came into the football club with a toxic mess at this football club. Loads of players there. Toxicity. Ridiculous amounts of toxicity. You know what I mean? And he's tasked with the job of not only managing the football team, but also fixing the toxicity, if that even is a word. It should be a word. Fixing the toxic nature of this football club. Which he's trying to do now. I know. Look, part of me feels, Andrew, that Ruben Amorim should walk. Because then I don't want to be proven right, because I don't care about my opinion. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. All I care about is Manchester United. The club I supported my whole life, since the late 80s, mate. That's all I care about. Grayo supported this football club for 55 years, mate. All I want is what's best for the football club. I don't want what's best for me. But I know that I will be proven right if we get a new manager in. I know that. And it's not going to be any joy for me, just like it isn't any joy now. When I said Erik ten Hag cannot be sacked because we're going to be here in a year's time. It's not even a year. It's 8 months, guys. 8 months. Took Arteta 5 years to win nothing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Big up, Andrew. Shivam. Back the manager and clear the old squad out. The shit deadwood needs to be removed. Some of these players don't deserve to wear the United shirt. Absolutely. It's pathetic. You don't need a manager to beat Grimsby. Exactly, mate. You don't. What they've done there, those unintelligent players that didn't put the effort in yesterday, what they've inadvertently done is that they've exposed themselves. Because each one of us know, who have a ball knowledge, each one of us know that you don't need tactics. You probably don't even need a manager to beat Grimsby. All you need to do is tell those players, go out there, guys, do your best. It's Grimsby. And naturally, they'll go out there and win the game. You could have got anyone. You could have got the caretaker boss to manage that game yesterday. I honestly feel that you could have got the under-21s to manage the game yesterday. And they would have probably won the game yesterday. I honestly feel like that. Big up Shavam, hope you're doing well. Big up Pearl, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. My opinion is no leadership on the pitch. You need players who are shouting at each other, players who demand more, players who love the badge. Straight up, AC. Since Roy Keane left, we've never had that kind of thing. We haven't had that leadership. We're slowly changing. I do believe that we have some players in the team right now. They can't fix everything by themselves. I'm talking about Cunha. Guys, Lee Chud's one of those players. I actually believe that De Ligt is one of those players as well. We need more. We need more. We haven't got those players anymore, you know? We've got some players, right? This is what Man United have at the moment. Man United have some players that are not talented, but have got good professionalism. Man United players have got players that are talented, but no professionalism. That's what they have. And it's nothing. We ain't got players who've got both. The only players now that I see that are getting there, I see Mbumo, I see Cunha, I see Sesko maybe. I don't know about Sesko yet, but I also see the likes of De Ligt and Licha, Yoro, who've got that Manchester United attitude, who've got that attitude. That the rest of them, however, I don't think that they have the Manchester United DNA. And this is very important because the Man United DNA, I know a lot of people trying to dismiss the Manchester United DNA. They say, oh, you're banging on. What is the Man United DNA? The Man United DNA is this, right? Man United came from adversity, right? And they reached the stars. And I would say about Man United's DNA is what Alex Ferguson used to do before he signed every single player, right? He got to know the player, the family, their private life, their hobbies, their diet, everything. He got to know him. He went out to dinner with the family, everything. Before he would sign a player, he will get to know that player deeply. So he knows who he's handing with, who he's dealing with. He knows who he's going to put an arm around. He knows that who's to give a rollicking to. Because that's something very important. He knew that he couldn't go to Cantona and turn around to Cantona and say, you effing this, you should have done that. Why did you kick that fan? You effing this, you're at this football club. He knew he couldn't do that with Cantona. He knew that Cantona needed a different approach. He knew that Cantona needed an arm around him, say, look, mate, we're with you. You know? But there are some players that need that. They need that. They need that rollicking. Unfortunately, these days, there are players that are a little bit snowflake. They can't take a little bit of criticism. They can't take a little bit of, a rollicking, basically. They can't do it. They can't take it. But that's what's important. That's what's important these days. The manager needs to install this culture at the football club. Right? Install this DNA at this football club. Get to know these players. Get to know them and find out what they're all about. What are their motives in this game? What are their ambitions in this game? What do they actually want in this game? Big up, EC. Miles, big up, Miles. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I will never stop loving our club. Qatar could have so much. We are a Ferrari, which does not get maintained. Ferrari, which does not get maintained properly. So how can we perform? Thank you so much, Sal, brother. You gave us all a voice. Peace. Miles, thank you so much, brother. You're always very nice when you come on the show. Really appreciate you, my friend. And that's how you should be, guys, when you come on the channel. Very nice guy. What I would say is you're absolutely spot on, mate. Qatar was the dream. Qatar was the actual thing that Manchester United needed. I know that a lot of people, obviously, part-time human rights activists who only care when it's their narrative, don't care about what's going on in other countries right now, but only care because, you know what, it fits their narrative. Having Qatar right now, the thing would have, everything would have been completely different. We all know what would have happened. Man United would be in a much better place right now. Obviously, I can't sit here and say absolutely 100% Man United will be this, Man United that. But guys, when you're looking at things realistically, could it have got any worse than it is now? Could it? Absolutely not, isn't it? Absolutely not. So Qatar was the dream. Qatar was what Man United needed. The debt cleared, the Glazers gone. Players that don't want to be there, players that, want to leave, can be paid off their contracts if they don't need. You wouldn't see Garnacho here right now. You would not see Anthony here right now. You would not see any of these players. Luke Shaw, all these players would not be at this football club right now because they would have had their contracts paid off. Gone. Kaput. Absolutely. Big up, Miles. Good to see you. And let me say hello to one of the members, Albie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're doing. Yes, it's time to back the manager and blame the players. Albie, all day long. Look, I'm not exempting Ruben Amorim from blame. Ruben Amorim has his flaws. But something was exposed yesterday, guys, which we've been talking about for the last 2 days. Ruben Amorim was shoehorning Bruno Fernandes into that midfield. And I must eat humble pie here. Because I was angry about Bruno Fernandes being shoehorned into number 8 position. Mainly didn't set the world alight, did he? Mainly didn't go out there and be, wow, Mainu, wow, bloody hell, we missed him. Midfield was open again. And I'm telling you right now, if some of those other players, if Ugarte doesn't pick it up, if all these players don't pick it up, I'm telling you, look, I'm a supporter of Ugarte, but if they do not pick it up, I'm gonna turn, because we can't see this every single time with certain managers. You know, look, best thing to do is trust the manager, trust what the manager does. He sees what we see every day in training. I trust this manager, because you know why I trust this manager? Because this manager is extremely honest. You see him in the press conferences. You see him post-match interviews. He's extremely honest. You know? Sal, some of the Amorim outers are saying how dare he blame the players in the interviews last night. They say he brought it up himself. So did Erik ten Hag bring it up himself as well? You know? He brought it up himself that they can't beat Grimsby Town. Only a couple of years ago, my local club, Leyton Orient, beat Grimsby Town 3-4-0. So I want to ask him, right? Ask these so-called fans. You know, he brought it on himself, right? In what way? By playing Bruno as a number 8. So what's Mainu done to deserve that number 8 position? What did Mainu do last season? He had one good game, and we all remember what the game was because it was Lyon, wasn't it? One good game. He was dropped because he had these noises about his contract, 200 grand a week last year. You remember that? So he was dropped. So Ruben Amorim is playing players that want to play for the football club. Whether they're good or not, this is what we're talking about, isn't it? Being backed. He needs his own players in there. He brought it on himself. Again, guys, he's had 3 players signed. 3 first-team players. The rest of them are not his. The rest of them are not his players. And these are the same players that flattered to deceive under Erik ten Hag. Some of them under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some of them even under Jose Mourinho. Some of them even under Louis van Gaal. You know, and this is what we're talking about here. So what, we're going to let the players off the hook again, shall we? Just let the players off the hook again. Yeah, let's get another manager in. Let's do that, shall we? And I guarantee you, Pearl, like I guaranteed everyone here, I had debates with people on here. People can come on this channel, you know, and they will clarify this. I said, we're going to change the manager and nothing is going to change until this whole squad is being cleaned out. The culture at the football club is being rectified and fixed. And here we are right now. Here we are. And we'll be here next year. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. We'll be here next year. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Because I will be here too. You know, and I will remind these people. So what about the Ruben Amorim? 8 months you want to turn against Ruben Amorim, you know, when he was trying to fix the culture at the football club. What about that? You know, that's what they're going to do. But they're going to hide, isn't it? Just like they're hiding, you know, all the Jim Ratcliffe lover boys and girls. Just like they're hiding, you know, right now. They hide. They will hide. They won't come in here and say, you know what, Sal, you were right about Ten Hag. Look, Ten Hag had his flaws. But one thing about Ten Hag, he made bad signings. That's his problem. But Ten Hag had to deal with everything. He didn't have a repertoire of people that are looking after things for him. Do you know what I mean? Big up, my friend. Big up, Graham. Big up, EC, of course. Actually, gloats that we lost is not a United fan. That twat has been given chance after chance after chance, and he's too thick to understand. He's gone for good, bro. Graham, we spoke about him the other day, didn't we, on the phone? And, you know, he's a madman. He's an absolute madman, you know. Yeah, I mean, one day me and you, mate, we'll have a drink and we'll talk about these people, because at the end of the day, I cannot believe that someone who claims to be a Manchester United fan can come on this channel to gloat and say that serves you right. I don't understand what, you know, I mean, I hurt when Man United lose. I hurt when Man United fans are feeling pain. I actually hurt when Man United fans are not happy. I feel it, like you know, like myself, I feel it. I feel it for them as well, because I believe that Man United deserve the best. We're the best fans in the world. Unfortunately, we got this generation here, you know, who sit on social media, and I don't know whether they're all upstairs anyway, so don't want to discriminate. EC, we have tried everything. 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. It's the mindset of the players week after week. And this mindset gets passed down generation after generation, EC. Generation after generation, the same mindset gets passed down to the new players. And then eventually, as much as they don't want to, but eventually they have no choice but to fall into that bad habit. You know, they do. It's unavoidable at the end of the day. They fall into that bad habit and it's all unavoidable, you know? Gladman dude, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you on the stream. United players too much complacency when playing against small teams. They lack seriousness. They don't have the hunger and passion. Gladman Dave, great comment, mate. Absolutely brilliant sense. Absolutely brilliant. Because why do Man United play so well against Arsenal? And we're unfortunate to lose to Arsenal. We dominated the game, but we didn't win. All right, but we played very well. But when we play Fulham, when we play Southampton, when we play Everton, when we play these teams, right, you will see Man United back to default settings. You will see the default settings coming back. You will see it, guys. Do you know what I mean? And as you said there, my friend, it's complacency, mentality. Man United, like I said earlier, this is not a tactics, a formation problem. This is a standards problem. It's a standards problem. Man United have a standard problem. Standards are on the floor. Standards are on the floor. Man United have this problem. You know, and we have to fix this issue. And this is what Ruben Amorim, to his credit, is trying to do. Now, guys, by all means, sack Ruben Amorim. Look, at the end of the day, I'm still going to support this football club. I love the football club. I'm not affiliated to anyone. Go ahead, do it. Let him walk. Do whatever. But I tell you one thing, I don't want people coming back to me, just like they've been doing this last 24 hours, and say, at least Erik ten Hag won some trophies, not looking at the context. Context in life in general is one of the most important things, you know? Daryl, we got time to sort it out every game as it comes. Absolutely, Daryl. We will, mate. We will sort it out, brother. Double I, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. I can't stand people trying to put everything on Amorim. Losing to a League Two time is not the manager, it's the tactics. It's not the tactics, it's the blame on the field. We should have won this game with literally no manager. Exactly, Double I. You could have managed Man United yesterday. I could have managed Man United yesterday against Grimsby Town. And no matter what formation we put out there, we should have been winning that game. The players know that. They know that what they have to do to win that game. You know? They know that. So let me ask you this question, guys. If it's Ruben Amorim's tactics which are the problem, right? Let me ask you this question. How comes Pep Guardiola needs billions to spend on Manchester City? How comes? He's a great manager, right? He's an excellent manager. He's one of the greatest managers of all time, right? But how comes he needs billions to spend? He still needs billions to spend, because if it was not about, money, he could just get me in the team and say, don't worry about it, Sal. I know you never play football at this level, but what you do, the tactics work. The tactics are going to work. The tactics are going to work. Why does he need to feel the need to spend billions on the players if the tactics of what it's all about? It's not. It's about backing your manager, believing in your manager and his philosophy, right? And giving 100% every single time, which is something that yesterday, none of these players gave 100%. They didn't even give 50% yesterday, not even 20%, I would say, until the last 15 minutes, you know? Grayo. So it's been a player power for like that cast. I saw this crap since Fergie left. Yeah, that absolutely disgusting performance last night was the pits. Our problems are worse than we ever thought. They are, Grayo. But I just want to be honest. And I don't think it could be fixed by sacking managers. I don't think it'll be fixed. I think we'll be here in a year's time, Grayo, talking about the same thing, probably get knocked out the League Cup or the FA Cup again. And here we are, round and round and round we go. I think it's about time that we say now, look at these players, right? And look at every single one of those players in the eye and say, listen, if you do not pick this up, right, you're out the door. You're out the door. If you do not pick this up, you're out. You're gone. And that's what it should be. Do you know what I mean? And I think we should stop doing the same thing that we're doing all the time, because these players know that. Oh, don't worry about it. He'll get sacked. He'll get sacked. You get a new manager in, have a little bit of a bounce. And then, you know what? We can down tool again. Buy time. Kick the ball down the road. You know, and that's what they do. You know, and it's a cultural problem since Alex Ferguson left, as you said there, Grayo. It has been an absolute shit show since Alex Ferguson left. Never envisioned it'd be this bad. Absolutely not. Never envisioned in a million years. If someone told me in 2013, Sal, you know Man United will be in 2025 and wouldn't have added to their 20 league titles, I would have think you're absolutely mad. I would have laughed. Oh yeah, you're just a hater. I would have said, you know? Sad. It is really bad. MK Dons on Louis Van Gaal's on his second game, lost to Swansea, lost to MK Dons, didn't he? EC, I've noticed a reoccurring theme that when games acquire 150% of energy, we are nowhere to be found. United players have games that require no more than 70% of the energy used. They don't dig deep at all. They don't. They give up at all. Energy used, they don't dig deep at all. Mickey, Sal, I wanted Ruben Amorim to succeed. He sounded broken. He is. He is gone no matter of the Burnley result. And here we'll be here next year, Mickey. Remember this, Mickey, right? I'll tell you right now, Mickey. We'll be here next year. Don't worry about that. With a new manager, a new system. Same thing. Knocked out the League Cup, knocked out the FA Cup. We're getting older, more grey hairs. Same thing. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen, mate. We got a world-class manager here. You know, and we're ruining him, destroying him. Just like we destroyed other managers. We've had serial winners. We've had ex-legends at the football club. We had Ralph Rangnick, who's proven he's a great manager. Louis Van Gaal is one thing. You know, I just don't know, man. Honestly. Big up, Mickey. Greyo, after last night, Bruno, Ugarte, Dalot, Mainu, Ahmad are doing Scumcho, Garnacho, Malasa, anti-extra, need to leave immediately. I agree with Greyo here. I've been talking about Ahmad for a while now. I've been talking about how he's let his little bit of popularity get to his head, and he hasn't improved. I called him a glorified Aaron Lennon yesterday. I stand corrected. Aaron Lennon's better than Ahmad. Sorry, Aaron Lennon. I stand corrected on that. You know, Ugarte's got to pick it up. Can't be, you know, he's got to pick it up. He's got to act like a proper number 6. He's got to start getting those challenges in. He's got to start fighting like a proper number 6, like this number 6 that we remember. Dalot's just not good. One of the worst fullbacks I've ever seen in my life. And there was actually a Dalot fan club, Grayo. There was actually a Dalot fan club. It's one of the worst fullbacks I've ever seen in my life, you know? Mainu, again, yesterday people were talking about Mainu, the rebirth of Zinedine Zidane. You know, this is what it was like, isn't it? Mainu, why is he not playing Mainu? Creating a little rift. Sheep falling for the media narrative to try and create arguments between the fans together, try and create a rift between Ruben Amorim and Bruno and Mainu. That's what they were doing, you know? But Bruno needs to leave too. They all need to go. And none of these guys, as much as you think favoritism and this and that, none of these guys are Ruben Amorim players. None of them. None of them are you Ruben Amorim's players. None of them signed for Ruben Amorim. You know? We were getting what he wants now. I guarantee you. If we manage to clear out this squad, we're not going to clear it out. We've only got a few days left. I can't see much happening now. But if we manage to get him in the midfielder in there and we manage to get the goalkeeper, I think that we're halfway there. Because when we look at what happened over this since the first game of the season, right? We made a midfield mistake against Fulham, which obviously ended up being a right-back mistake. 2 positions which we need, right? Which was, if they were fixed, we probably would have won against Fulham. We look at the Arsenal game. Even if we had a youngster, 23-year-old, he's not that young, but he's 23, Senny Lammens, in goal, we wouldn't have lost to Arsenal and maybe would have went on to win. Look at the game last night. If we had a competent goalkeeper, we probably would have won the game. Probably would have went on to win the game. You know? This is what we're talking about backing and the small margins in football. We all know the biggest mistake that Ruben Amorim made yesterday. And listen, guys, I do call out mistakes. I said it at full time, get Anana off the pitch, bring Bayindir in the goal or Heaton. I said, get one of them. What Ruben Amorim said yesterday is that he trusted a lot of these players, right? But they made it loud and clear for him. He trusted Anana. Because Onana probably did what Marcus Rashford did, what all these other players do, is that they're manipulative, they lie in front of your face. And when it comes to match day, I cannot believe and I cannot fathom how Onana couldn't save one of those penalties. He got his hand to almost every one of those penalties. You're trying to tell me he couldn't keep one out. It was a half-hearted effort. And again, we go back to culture, don't we? We go back to the culture at the football club. The problem at this football club. That's what we go, don't we? EC, yes, notice Amorim's attitude on and off the pitch. It's been terrible, absolutely. It's been terrible. Brian, good afternoon. How you doing, Sal? Lammens can't come soon enough. Watching that shit show in goal, keeping last night was bad. And no, the manager wasn't backed. Exactly, Brian. You got people like Story who just want to blame it on the manager because you know what, he backs Ineos. I mean, and then when we know what the problem is, and I told him weeks ago, you know what I mean, just come on this channel and apologize rather than trying to back these players who threw him under the bloody bus against Grimsby. This is not a tactical thing against Grimsby. You know, this was a lack of effort thing. You know, some of these players are playing for their positions, for their futures at Man United. That's all the motivation you need, don't you? That's all you need, you know? Double I. By the way, those players always get away with it. Again, exactly. For some reason, we always blame the managers. But in reality, players turn on these managers. What do you want them to do? Go on the field and play themselves. Blame the managers. But in reality, players turn on the managers. What do you want them to do? Go on the field and play themselves. Look, yeah, that's what they do, though. They go on the field and they manipulate. They act. It's like you might as well go action. Because that's what they do. It might as well be like the old cartoon, the Hurricanes. You know, Football Factory, something like that. You know what I mean? It might as well be that. Because at the end of the day, we got a bunch of actors playing for us at the moment. Acting to be Man United players. Actors. And when the time going, when it gets to the crunch, when the going gets tough, they were down tool. They were down tool. Do you know what I mean? Old Trafford, my friend. Some of the YouTube and media suddenly became gurus. Amorim was brutally honest, and what these people say, he was a coward. It's a shame how these so-called Man United fans act. I know, mate. I know. It's a sad act. It's like they don't have much knowledge. What it is that a lot of these people have made up their mind. And they lack the intelligence to change their mind. You know, they've lacked their talents to change their mind. You know, and they won't change their mind because of the manager. They're player FC, whatever they are. They love the players and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, sorry. I'm not reading your comment. It's reserved for intelligent people. Sorry, brother. Grayo, and the one that needs to go and never wear the United shirt again is Onana, the worst goalkeeper in our history. Yeah, statistically as well, Grayo, pound for pound, game for game, worst goalkeeper in the history. One of the worst signings we have had. Eric Ten Hag should take responsibility. He should have took him back to Bayer Leverkusen, shouldn't he, Grayo? I mean, if that's the least he could have done. The least he could have done was take him back to Bayer Leverkusen. Brian, sack the manager. It's all not fixing anything. Absolutely, we need to back him. Or we let another manager get thrown under the bus. Brian, much exactly, mate. Can't say it any better, mate. It's just what it is. If he leaves, don't worry, I'll be smug next year this time because I'm going to say I told you so. You know, if he leaves and we get another manager in there and we're here this time next year, this only been 8 months. Remember that, 8 months. These players have thrown players under the bus before. These people around this community as well who are trying to back the players need to listen to Roy Keane. What he said, lepers don't change their spots. You know, this is what we're talking about. People, we don't understand. We will be here in a year's time. If those same players, and we haven't had a proper rebuild, and Ruben Amorim has not been backed, we know he's not been backed, right? And only people who are pro Ruben Amorim's old crusty backside is that they're the ones who are backing him, who are the ones who are saying that he's been backed. And what world of planet are you living on? Number one, we're in the third game of the season. We got 3 players in. We've not even got the goalkeeper. Sending Lammens is 20 million Sending Lammens should have been done weeks ago. Weeks ago. And we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. And we wouldn't have self-righteous people coming on this channel talking about the birds and the bees, which they know nothing about. Probably virgins. Absolutely. Ellen. Big up, Ellen. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. The best for us is not to change the manager again. I agree, Ellen. Very smart. That's the best for us. What's the one thing we haven't done? Back the manager. It's the one thing we haven't done. The only thing we haven't done is back the manager. We've always given in. We've always given in to the narrative, haven't we? Guys, I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined me today. Of course, let me just read out. Let me just get this up. Good afternoon, Tyborg. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Tyborg. Hope you're doing blessed, my guy. Good to see you again. Of course, big up, Tyborg. Of course, I hope you're good, guys. And big up, survived last night. We all did, didn't we, brother? Absolutely, Tyborg. It was a tough one last night. Absolutely was. But we survived, guys. We will be back. Tyborg, Amorim must stay. I can tell everyone right now, Glasner is not the solution. I watched him at Eintracht. Very good manager, but he was too soft, and these players will throw him under the bus. Exactly, Tyborg. And this is what I'm talking about, context, isn't it, Tyborg? About the difference in culture, the difference in stature of football clubs. Just because you've done well at that football club at Palace doesn't mean you're going to do well at Man United. Man United is a different animal. Man United is a completely different animal, a completely different beast. Absolutely. Guys, have a great day, great evening, great night. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video, guys. Thank you for all the members who came in as well. Thank you so much, you absolute legends. Guys, big up Jack, MUFC all the way, my friend. Big up everyone and big up all the people that, you know, are patient and don't feed into the media narrative. Grayo, the legend, thank you so much for your super chat, brother. I really appreciate you. Much love to you. You're an amazing person. You know what I mean? And the one thing about this community is that we've found each other, you know what I mean? And we can talk and we can reason and we can debate. And it's really good, guys. Absolutely is. Guys, absolutely. I want to read that. John Tucker, we should have won without a manager. For fuck's sake, these players weren't enough, didn't care enough to win. Absolutely. That's intelligence for you. Absolutely, guys. Daryl, welcome to the membership, my guy. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you for joining the family. Got some great membership content coming up, guys. I'm just working on it at the moment. Great membership content coming. Thank you so much, Daryl. You're absolute legend, guys. Absolutely. Let me just say congratulations to Grimsby Town. Well done, mate. You deserved it. Okay, there you go, guys. Thank you so much, Daryl, for becoming a member. Have a great night, guys. Have a great evening, you absolute legends. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. And I will see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, if nothing else, with nothing else breaks, of course, guys. Absolutely. Story. The story of your life is, I was born because my mum made love to a taxi driver. So I was born like that. And when I was born, I was kicked by a horse. And then that was what happened. The end. That's how you found you, mate. And that's how you found your family. So, mate, have a good one, guys. Bobby Flossie, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. You don't want it with me, story. I worked in hip-hop for a very long time, mate. Mate, absolutely. Big up Bobby Flossie, the legend, of course. Big up Daryl. Good to see you again. Absolutely. Guys, he's had basically zero story. Maybe you should scroll up and learn a bit on the comments, mate. Story. But guys, big up my friend Nietzsche fan. Hope you're doing well. Big up everyone. Have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you are in the world. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, guys. I'll be back tomorrow if nothing else breaks, of course, guys. So take it easy and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about it. We'll be back anyway, guys. Take it easy, guys. Peace.